Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Culture Review. We are live. That's right, 1 minute in. Hopefully, I haven't boomered anything yet. It's been almost a full week since I've streamed. In fact, I think it's been a full week since I've streamed last. And of course, during the interim, while I was traveling, I managed to get sick. So I do sound different, so that's not an illusion. And hopefully that'll clear itself up here, over the course of the next few days. With that in mind, we have a great panel here, some awesome guests that are going to be able to talk intelligently about the four things that we intend to cover today. Hopefully we can get to all of them. And look, we just want to say thank you for being here. But with that, I'd like to first feature the man that's immediately to my... Well, on the screen, I guess it's my right. Yeah. But it's actually my left. It's Mock and Dross. What's up, Mock?
Good to see you, everybody. How's everybody doing? We're here to kind of help Culture with getting through this stream. He's not exactly 200%, but we're gonna make sure we carry the 50%. He's at 150. We're the other 50% here today. And of course, as I think the experiment worked is when I turn on the camera, the view counts do go up. So,
I love that. Yeah,
so you'll get to watch me try my hand. This is my first attempt at trying a fountain pen with the next page. So
that's amazing. Love that. Looks good. I think everybody's gonna dig what you're cooking up there, Mock. Are you doing a stream today? Or are you up?
No. This is off season. Remember, this is the off season. Mockany Live will return on Sunday, June 5th at 12:30 because we're kicking off the summer season, baby.
Looking forward to that. I know the audience is as well. Of course, right next to Mockany is our good friend Wes from Whatever Cast, his new channel. Do check that out. He has been, he's been busy. Plus, we have Conspiracy Chronicles to look forward to. I am so excited. Wes, what's going on, brother?
Well, right now I'm working on I want to make sure that I do the new channel right. So I have some more video content planned. So I've got some things that I've got planned for it. Eventually, I was supposed to do my field trip to YouTube on YouTube at YouTube, which has been placed on hold due to mucho adulting, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My plan.
I could tell you I know exactly where YouTube's offices are because I used to live there.
Oh, yeah, it should be fun. We're going to explore the San Francisco poop map. We're going to, so it's going to be more high production video content. I think was on the other channel. The live streams are going to be more.
Does this mean that we're going to have a crossover at some point? I'm going to be running into you at some point. Like, hey,
you're invited. Yeah, absolutely. Come along. We'll meet up. I want my cameraman to wear the Whatever Cast horse mask though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But so that's what I've got going on. It's always a pleasure to be here on the Sunday Culture Review, and always a pleasure to spend time with the amazing panel, and of course the best chat on YouTube. We love you.
Indeed. And of course, right below Wes, we have our good friend AFK Bard, another longtime panelist. I can't believe how many of you have been on this panel since basically the very beginning. So AFK, how's it going?
Hi, it's going great. I'm sorry I was not here last week. I just want to say hey, y'all, and hi to chat. Thanks for always being here to support Culture. Mm-hmm. And like Makani was saying, he's a little under the weather today, but you know what? He already puts a whole bunch of above 100 in this. So
nice.
He's good. He's good.
You guys are so nice. I appreciate that. And last but not least, we have the incredible military man, our very own turtle. Let's just put it that way. It's Shellbach, TJC. What's up, Shellbach?
Good morning. I hope everyone has their cup of joe and their sausage biscuit or whatever you like to have for breakfast. Just keep clicking them buttons. Culture needs to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark so he can get shirtless. Yeah,
that's right. The incentive to see my hairy chest apparently is quite high, I guess. I don't know. I'm probably going to sit at like 9,999 forever because nobody wants to see that, which I can't blame. I wouldn't want to see that either.
I'll make some bot accounts if you get that.
Let's not do that. Anyway, I just appreciate everybody being here. And with that, I want to say hi to the chat real quick. I didn't get to see everybody for a week. That's really weird for me. I missed everybody. It's very strange. Of course, we got Jaffo joining us. There's Fats. He looks he looks like himself. Fats, check your DMs, my friend. We got Trav 101. Good to see you, my friend. Low Spec Linux Laptop is there. Dragon Master 360. Siege Perilous is out there in the world. The ever lovely Sherry is joining us, and so is Just Another Red Shirt. Hail, Mr. Shirt. Looks like we've got D Bud Martin in the house and so many more joining us. I do appreciate everybody rolling in here. Dr. Dragon is here. Good to see you, buddy. We've got Sean Estep. Good to see you, bud. Your Muslim uncle. Hello, indeed. Assalamu alaikum. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I'm doing better. I'm going to get it. Let's see. We've got Close out there. Good to see you, my friend. Of course, Joker Voice. He's got his 200 subs achieved yesterday. Congratulations, my friend. Cody Guy is saying hi to everybody. Good to see you. We got Monkey Jeebus out there who is just, sending me messages regularly. That's awesome. Thank you for that. I'm going to be spending some more time over on the Gilded chat here. Hopefully it's starting tomorrow. Going to try to relax just for another day or two, and oh my gosh, we have an extra special guest joining us today. It's Mark Beakerberg. Good to see you, Mark.
Good talk.
Yeah, can't hear Mark.
Yeah.
Hey,
Am
Mark.
I frozen again?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Mark. Okay.
Maybe he speaks like Beaker. Me, beep, beep,
Yeah,
beep.
well, he looks remarkably like. Yeah, there you go. That's the weirdest picture ever.
I've seen weirder. It's the internet.
That's a great way to join a stream, let me tell you.
It's a great character, Beaker.
Wow.
What is that rule number 34 of the internet there or something?
I don't know. It's just incredible. Mark does look inhuman. That was definitely an altered photo, according to many sources. So
Nah, seems legit.
Yeah.
Looks real. Hey, he's more animated than the current executive office holder.
yeah. Whoa, hey, now that's not hard to do. Got a Rave Girl out there hanging out with us. We've got looks like Story Man. What's up, Story Man? Let's see who else is there. Oh, Judicon. What's up, Judicon? Let's see. Memes. What's up, Memes? Good to see you, buddy. And so many more. Daisy Blossom is here. Good to see you.
Hey,
dear.
Daisy.
Jordy's out there in the world. Thank you, Jordy, for being here and for all your support, my friend. I do appreciate it. Man, so many of you folks rolling in. I appreciate that. I know Keck44 is joining us. Got to say hi to everybody, folks. Got Snowdub out there. Hopefully you guys caught Snowdub's show last night. If you didn't, go back and watch it. Totally worth it. Josiah Fitch is out there in the universe. We've got, let's see. Oh, 6. Hello, dear. I will create 666 fake account to access that carpeted chest hair. Holy cow, 6.
Yeah.
It's more like a sweater, but yeah. Actually, my chest hair grows in the pattern of like an eagle. like an eagle from like a a seal. It's very strange. You got more information than anybody needed. Let me tell you.
I couldn't even really grow non-patchy chest hair until I was like 35.
Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Hope you had a successful trip. Happy Sunday to you and the boss and the panel. Well, thank you, Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. Yes, yes, and yes. We appreciate that, my friend. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cough up my lungs. We've got Fred Blogs checking in from the UK. Great to see you. And Turo saying Machety draws the way I used to back in the 80s and 90s. Airbrushing tanks, helmets, and cars was a process back then to get something original and beautiful. Now,
it still is.
Print on vinyl and apply. Yeah, it's really different in detailing out cars, like adding those little flourishes. And remember pinstriping?
Yes.
You ever get pinstriping added to your vehicle? I know that. Hey, Fats, Fats is here. What's up, Fats?
I lived life on the edge, and I put a window decal on my car once and a bumper sticker. Whoa.
Ooh. God,
I don't do cars.
My 5.0 Mustang had the the gray on top and the silver on the bottom with like the blue inserts. And every time I see like a Fox body Mustang, they all look like that. And I'm like, damn it, I wish I would have kept it.
I never owned a car, but I was a hood ornament for multiple because I got hit by a bunch.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Steven, can you crank your gain just a little bit? I don't know why it is.
You mean like this?
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh,
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you sound good. We got Pops out there in the chat. We've got George Bonnie 90 saying hello, everyone. I love that Honda emblem. That's very cool. Pickles is out there saying what's incredible is Elon Musk actually believed Twitter when they said only 5% of users are bots. Actually, I don't believe he did. I have a story coming out on Tech Tuesday that covers all of this in detail. It's going to be a long video, but it's going to be worth it, guys. So check it out.
The thing with Elon, I'm loving in general, is this man has so much money that he is literally having fun with it by trolling Twitter. He's not only controlling Twitter, he's controlling and trolling the stock and the price of the stock. Do you think he's actually wanted giving $44 billion to a bunch of crying little? No, of course not. No. It's hilarious. I'll get a gift card to Starbucks because that's when they'll start working.
Well, that's what they're qualified for, really.
Not really. Using those machines for like foaming the milk takes intelligence. There's none there.
That's true.
Yeah, and Trav 101 says the former press secretary reminds me of Beaker. Sure.
Was that the one that was dating the CNN news reporter?
Look, right now everybody has so many conflicts of interest. I mean, there is so much corruption in our government at all levels. I mean, are you surprised? Anyway, I don't want to get into all that. I do want to finish saying hi to everybody. We got a lot of folks in the chat. If I missed you, it's not intentional. TZ Burton is out there. Emotionally unstable amphibian. Good to see you, my friend. Sonder Hummerslag is out there. Let's see. Biden is Grandpa Poopy Pants. Well, actually, I just think I think Uncle Bad Touch is my favorite name for him. Horny Alf is out there. Good to see you. And hey, what's going on, Mr. Grant Gregory, for a $2 Australian super chat? Says good to have you back, boss. I'm glad to be back. Just wish I had more voice and less coughing. What's up, War Monkey? Brightest day. Matt G. Mayor McCheese is in the house. So many other folks. Thanks you all for being here. You guys are the best. Hey, what's up, Peter Venkman fan site? All right, let's get going. We got stuff to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in. You know what, Fats, I know you're going to want to get to the Elon Musk stuff. We'll get there towards the
I'm in no rush. It's okay.
The end. All right, okay. We're going to start with something strange.
Ghostbusters?
No. The Wizard Wobble is a wake-up call for Marvel as Doctor Strange 2 falls 67% in weekend 2. Audiences run cold on Firestarter. By the way, do you know what cold on Firestarter means?
It means it was crap.
It means it earned less than $4 million in the box office, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
That sounds really bad.
It does. Here's the problem. Peacock Plus went for, or whatever they're calling their premium tier of that service. They went for a day and date release, and nobody asked for this film. And it's not the little girl's fault who's in the film, because from what I'm to understand, she's a great actress, right? But this thing sucked rocks, and nobody wanted it.
but there was hardly any advertising, right? That's the same thing that followed. Like if you're looking at like what Promised Land, because like there's shows out there that or movies out there we're not even seeing advertising for, but yet they're doing these remakes of things people already know about.
Well, what makes it even worse, at least for me, because like up until like just before it came out, I did not know this thing existed until I saw like a couple ads back to back. Because YouTube always tends to do that, where it's like right when a movie's coming out, they're like back to back ads of the same thing. But I was watching it, and it's just like if people only have the trailer that they have put out there, it just looks like a whole bunch of angry, miserable, violent people with a kid running around setting people on fire. There's literally like no plot in the trailer, no context whatsoever, just like a big thing line about like, oh, you're a superhero now. And it's like nobody wants that. Like there's nothing compelling about that trailer that would send my mom to see the movie or like my friend to see the movie. I don't know. It seemed like a dud.
Well, the original was such a classic film. It had such a great cast. I mean, you had Drew Barrymore and George C. Scott. I mean,
David Keith. David Keith is the father. I mean, it was well done, Wes. You're 100% right.
Wasn't this already remade though? There is the original you talk about Drew Barrymore. Then there was like I think wasn't there a reboot or a remake later on?
Was there a TV show, Wes?
Wasn't there Carrie or Carrie 2 or something?
There may have been.
This is the third iteration.
Oh no, we lost someone. Who did we lose?
Shellback.
Well, he'll be back. Ryan Dyer says, May the 15th be with you. Indeed, sir. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. We got Fat Elvis smashing the thumb. Thanks for that. And I want to say this. Dr. Dragon says, 67%. I thought it was 82% from what I heard yesterday. Okay, Friday over Friday, and we'll get to that. In fact, let's scroll down to it.
Didn't it only make like what 60 million or something, or not even?
It fell off. Yeah. So right through after Saturday, down 67%. They made 61 million. So they fell 67%, right? But that's the entire time. They fell 82% Friday over Friday. So if you compare the two Fridays, that's where that fall off was. So you're not wrong. You did hear 82%. It was correct. It's just comparing a Friday and another Friday.
Can I ask a question though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can this also be maybe a contribution to the word of mouth and how popular it can drive or kill something? And it just took a week.
Well, here you go. And again, I'm doing a video on this much more in detail tomorrow, so do check that out. That's Monday's video. It's talking about this decline and everything else. But this is a quote from Anthony De Alessandro's cousin Vinny, which made me laugh, by the way. He says, I'm going to go around telling everyone I know to avoid Doctor Strange 2. Vinny complained that Marvel Disney, calm down, my cousin isn't a media influencer, right? So there you go. He says, why? I asked. I mean, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. And Vinny said, it's a 2-hour season finale to WandaVision.
Oh, sick.
I wouldn't even give it that. WandaVision died at episode 4.
Oh God, that finale made me so angry. I like there are a few times in my life where I want to throw things across the room, and I'm glad I didn't throw my TV, obviously, but I just got so angry with it. I don't want to see a movie about it.
Yeah, they should have went with Mephisto.
They had a chance. We were talking about it. Remember when you and I were doing the early reviews on it, the follow-up coverage?
This is WandaVision was the show that killed me ever putting any energy towards another Marvel or Disney show, and that it is apparent because
Monkey Jeebus says, yeah, it was on Peacock. It was dumb. We're talking about Firestarter. Sorry about that. She can do more than just fire. Well, yeah, she can. Not good.
Isn't she a pyrokinetic?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's fire, but also telekinesis at the same time, or kinetic.
Firestarter Rebirth. Thank you, Monkey Jeebus.
Thank you.
Always nice to have nerds in chat.
You guys are incredible. I love it. Hey, what's up, Robert Hammer? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, the original Firestar's more like X-Men Origins. It's true. You guys are on fire today. I appreciate that. If you guys see a member chat, please let me know because I'm not going to catch them today. I'm just not with it.
Pun intended.
Yeah, Odin will definitely be talking about it tomorrow, Dr. Dragon, indeed. But yeah, I've got a video coming out on it, some details and my thoughts on it and all of that. So indeed. Let's see, I was way off on my numbers. I predicted 650 million total global box office, already at 600. Yeah, but I don't know that it's going to go even big. I think 700, 750, 6. So I think it's going to curtail. I don't know. You know what? That's a good question. Where do you guys think this is going to finish?
In the garbage can.
Okay, but I mean, global box office.
It's going to do less than BVS.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Wes, what do you think?
I think you're probably dead on 750-ish.
Yeah. What do you, AFK thoughts? Any?
Oh, I don't math.
You don't math. Okay. Fair enough. But there's a lot going on right now. Let me just put it this way. 3.8 million over 3 days for Firestarter. Where do you think this is going to end up after total box office?
What's the current one? 3.8. Barely under 7. Barely.
I think it could get to almost 10.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like if you went to the local store and you asked people if they were going to see it, nobody would know what you were asking about.
Right.
So they put Firestarter on this weekend because it was Friday the 13th.
What?
What?
Yeah.
It was? How did I even miss that?
Was it? It was Friday the 13th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
apparently it doesn't have much of an impact.
It didn't have a whole lot of
Sorry, I
horror.
was playing Evil Dead. My bad.
Yeah. Wait, somebody's talking numbers in the chat. So, okay. But, I loved WandaVision, but the season finale was crap. Well, that's supposedly what the new Doctor Strange 2 film is. It's the wrap up for it all.
Well, here's what I heard, which makes me understand it a little bit better as far as the series. And please correct me. If I remember correctly, there were 2 different directors for WandaVision. Someone who worked entirely on the Wanda world stuff, and then someone else who was basically working on all the outside stuff. And I feel like anything with the Wanda stuff was really cool in the world. Like, I loved that time travel and stuff, but whenever they tried to inject what was going on with the other plot into it, that's where it went bad for me.
Yeah, I liked the old TV land stuff, and then once that was over, it just took a giant dump. It was something totally different.
Yeah, they really did screw it up. They had the chance to do this really nice. Fat Steven and I think that was something I enjoyed the most. He and I broke down, what was it, the first couple of episodes? That was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It gave possibilities to not only Wanda, since being Nexus, being you could see with Multiverse of Madness is supposed to be attached, that from all of the event that could have happened after this, if we even had a slight attachment to House of M, Wanda could have been, this series could have literally, with her powers or whatever happened, could have introduced us to X-Men in our universe by her powers going out of control. And what do we get? We get Ralph and his boner. Thank you, Marvel.
They literally had a foot in that one too. They could have. They had this actor who played freaking Pietro in there, and they could easily have been him injected in there for the reason of being aware that she's there and having the X-Men become involved with the show. And they looked at it, they laughed at it, and they chucked it out the window.
Yeah, and the 2 people doing those commercials, right? That literally could have been servants of Mephisto or whoever trapped, right? And they're trying to get out because Mephisto wants to get out. Because the whole reason why those kids were created from the comics was because they were created from splinters of Mephisto's soul. You had it all there. Funko even confirmed it with the toy too, right? Funko doesn't make molds unless
they were planning to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had that talk. Yeah, and it's weird. I mean, they really did pull back from the possibilities, but I'm looking at these numbers we're going to hit 300 million in week 2 for this film. I'm really thinking we're going to have 750 million. I want to get to some of the chat's predictions here. I want to catch this super sticker, which is a box of popcorn from Darius Munchausen. Thanks for that, my friend. You guys are on fire. Sander Hammerslag says somewhere between 700 and 800 million. I'm in that same wheelhouse, so I get you. TZ Burton, it's going to gross pain. What's your prediction? Pain. Mr. Grant Gregory says $786,500,300. That's very specific.
How many cents though? That's a big difference.
Okay. The other thing that bothered me with Doctor Strange too is we got introduced to the multiverse, saying that there's different perversion of these people throughout all the multiverse, right? To a degree, right? So is that their lazy way of telling us that there's already a Professor X running around in a yellow banana chair somewhere and we just haven't seen him yet?
Well, I mean, it's just the easy button for writing now. They literally could do whatever they want. They can kill whatever characters they want anytime. They can replace them with anybody at any time with any actor, and they've established that that's a possibility.
He looked like Captain Picard cosplaying as Professor X in a Mario Kart. That chair was bad.
Yeah.
I did not see it.
Everything I've seen about and from this film, and again, I'm not seeing the film. I'm not giving Disney money for garbage.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, courtesy of a friend. Yeah, but it's I have no interest in this film. I didn't have any interest in this film once I heard the direction they were going. But Daisy Blossom says, my husband and I had tickets to Doctor Strange. However, after the reviews, we asked for a refund. A lot of people did. Trav says the most sensible thing in the world. Top Gun 2 comes out May 24th. So I'm going to ask a question to all of you. Just a quick answer. Who's going to see Top Gun in the theater? Show of hands, or just say it out loud.
Nah.
Nope.
Really?
No.
Nah, I'll pass.
Thomas?
Looks good.
Yeah, Thomas, I do understand it was a reference to the animated series, as well as they did the memberberry of the theme music using the riff without using the riff. Yes, I know. Thank you.
The trailers that I've seen, some of the action scenes, it almost seems video game like. It kind of reminded me of Stealth a little bit, and Stealth wasn't a very good movie.
I feel like, there is a lot of, I think we mentioned earlier before actually we started, his show started up, but there is kind of like a split in this because there are quite a few people who did enjoy Doctor Strange. So it's like, I feel like it's not entirely fair just to completely dog on it. Because it's not entirely bad. It's not entirely good, but it seems like people just didn't want to keep going back to it is all, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Because it's like, I didn't go see it, not because I thought it was going to be crappy, but because I didn't have interest in Doctor Strange. I haven't seen all of the Marvel movies because that's kind of how I roll. I think that is also something to think when it comes to the numbers of the box office too.
I also believe though, like with the film though, there's going to be people that are going to like it and dislike it, but the underlying trade, and we've been saying this for weeks and months now, is no matter how much we dog on something or we praise something, whatever the person or the persons of the opposite opinion of it, they shouldn't automatically feel like they have to defend, and that's not the case. That's the bottom line that's going on right now. That needs to be sucked out, right? Like when we used to have conversations with what was the better captain and not try to punch each other's teeth out. That defense thing has to go away, and for some reason it's still growing like a weed.
Yeah, it really is. And I just want go ahead. I'm sorry.
One of the other things we talked about backstage was, the comic book folks a lot of times will not like something and your casual will. And I actually liked Thor Ragnarok. So I don't know.
It had moments.
Well, it was a mix of like three different comics, because it was kind of like Planet Hulk meets, the story of Ragnarok meets like whatever the name of that garbage planet was. I forget the name of it, but yeah.
I did not like the use of Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin, though. I found that distracting. Although I do like the song, I didn't.
Me too.
Those two, I don't know. It's like pickle ice cream or something. It just didn't work.
I definitely will go see Top Gun just to revisit that question. And it seems like Shellbach, are you going to go see Top Gun?
He chimed in the price.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just because
the classic.
Yeah. I got to rephrase. I'm not interested in going to see it whatsoever, but I'm aware that my mom wants to see it, so I might have to go see it with her so
Yeah.
she doesn't have to go alone. But that's how I saw the first movie in the first place, too. She had a huge thing for Tom Cruise.
Well,
But I personally have to admit, I am not a Tom Cruise fan. I
Oh.
have never been, but I have enjoyed movies that he's been in.
yeah.
So I'm
Tropic
sure
Thunder.
this one will be good because I think that the first one was really good, although I didn't like it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Wes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just going to close my thoughts out on Top Gun by saying that the trailer, there's Goose's son, and he doesn't like Maverick, and it's just like, oh God, we're doing that again. Okay, so that kind of turned me off to it. That's
Would
my
you
closing
rather
thought.
see Tom Cruise in volleyball? That's what I'm worried about. Just to see them talk.
They're playing softball, I think, in the new film. Yeah, but real quick, with Daisy Blossom, Flower Child for $5 sent us a super sticker. It's a little Shiba Inu doing some karate moves, or maybe it's kung fu chain punches.
$20 super chat.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I wish it wasn't on a platform either. That's true. Liam McNeil says the showrunner for WandaVision, and this is a true story, never read the comic and didn't even realize the images of Mephisto was in the show.
Yeah.
Don't forget the showrunner or the writer for Loki was on Doctor Strange as well. So
that's true. Orville Nation says, hey, Culture and friends, greetings, PJ. I hope everything's going well with you, sir. Orville's firing up, brother. Can't wait for you guys. Really, really. Gilkman's out there. What's up, Thomas? Good to see you, buddy.
You have a $20 super chat from the Gilkman.
Oh, wow. Shoot. Thomas says, I personally enjoyed Doctor Strange 2, The Bad Guys, and Sonic 2. Sonic 2 was great. Bad Guys I haven't seen yet. There you go. And Pop says China will not support Mephisto, so it was DOA. That sucks. Ruben Christopher Haynes, good to see you, brother. Love you. Miss you. All the Disney shows and the MCU are all about broken people. Wanda has a breakdown and enslaves a town. Sam can't get alone and takes up the shield to tell us to do better. Loki cries. That's true.
Loki made out with himself. Sorry.
That's also weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, that and the whole scene with the loan and everything, it's like it doesn't even work that way.
No.
Just quit making shit up.
They've been making stuff up in these films for forever. Liam McNeil says Doctor Strange 2. No, you're not wrong. Wes, why are you sorry?
For the SHIT.
Oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we are trying to limit cursing because monetization now is hard because they are really clamping down on no words. So, but anyway, Doctor Strange 2 has already used up the goodwill Spider-Man No Way Home gave it, and now everyone who wanted to see it already has and won't see it again. That's 100% accurate. It really is. I don't know that there's a good way to defend the fact that these movies aren't rewatchable.
They are rewatchable, but the problem is they have to stop making superhero films and stop saturating. Just let it die for 10 years. Then release the Legacy edition.
That brings up another thing that another angle to this. I think also is that it gets to be really daunting. I think this was a problem with comics back in the day when crossovers started happening all the time. That you're expected to know what is going on when you go into a lot of these new movies. And so you'll see these trailers with things going on. You'll be like, what's happening? They'll refer to things in these movies. They'll just expect you to know. And it's like, I don't know. It gets exhausting because I don't want to have to see every single movie to be able to enjoy the next movie. And they tried to just like squeeze in an ad for like this new Steven movie or Strange movie by putting at the end of this Spider-Man movie. And it really is. It's kind of embarrassing because then it's like, oh, well, you better go catch up on Wanda and you better go catch up on Stephen Strange. It's like, nah.
Well, that's been a problem with, I would say, most of the MCU films starting from phase 2 to onto phase 3 is that, and I would say it kind of began with Age of Ultron, really, even before that, and even you saw a little bit with Winter Soldier and stuff, is that this format of they're doing in that a lot of the MCU films nowadays, people are only watching just to see what the next film is instead of, actually watching it for what it is, watching it stand on its own. I always revert back to Captain America Winter Soldier because it really did stand on its own. And even if it's completely separated away from the MCU, it's its own standalone flick and it's strong enough to stand on its own. And you don't need, and the story and everything there was strong enough that you could watch it without having to wait for the next teaser. And I'm not saying generalizing them. I apologize if I'm generalizing, but I'm noticing is that a lot of MCU films nowadays, a lot of people are wanting to watch just to see what the teaser is for the next MCU film instead of enjoying what the film is in and of itself. What if it's as a standalone?
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
It explains the fact that there's no rewatchability and like people aren't going back because they're treating it more of a job to see each of these movies that are coming out. I mean, yeah, people are enjoying it, but you got like that faction who are trying to be Marvel aficionados or whatever, who want to be able to understand the movies that they actually want to go watch. So it's like if someone was like, "Oh, there's this Strange movie coming out, but in like half a year another movie's coming out, you better watch it so you know what's going to happen in that movie that you're interested in."
And the thing is that it's not going to be teasing up other MCU films now. MCU films are now going to start teasing up Disney Plus shows.
And it's really a devaluation of the content. And the Gilk Man for $20, $19.99. Thank you, Thomas. That wasn't necessary, brother, but I appreciate it. Says, I enjoyed Doctor Strange 2 and Sonic 2 and The Bad Guys. While Doctor Strange 2 had a few issues, I did enjoy it immensely. I can't wait to see it Friday with people. Cumberbatch, for me, is the perfect actor to play the Doctor. I don't disagree. I think he's been excellent at it. Yeah,
really is a great actor.
99, my friend. He is. He's very, very good. Ginger Justice says something. What is the average lore investment of people who enjoyed it? While they keep ruining it, will that logic carry? That's a good question.
You know what they should have done? There's promotional things. What they should have done is either done a prelude story of what the multiverse is and actually gone through it and made it a Disney Plus special rather than people waiting for a secret scene at the end of a film. Why haven't they just in general make a prequel summary or an animated thing going, the multiverse is this, the three doorways of the place below and the place above is actually guarded by Man-Thing. Who's Man-Thing? Find out in a later series. And they could have laid it all out for them with crayons and color by numbers so people get caught up.
Actually, what they used to do during the first phase of the MCU is that they would actually do comic tie-ins. There would be comic and graphic novel tie-ins for each film coming out, so you get much more of a bigger scope of what's going on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people joining us. Thanks for popping in, everybody. Appreciate your support. You guys are killing it in the chat. My goodness, Mr. Tickle Trunk is calling me out like usual, saying I'm 10 minutes behind at least. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. Apologies says, I could have watched Doctor Strange yesterday, but I went, nah. I've heard that from a lot of people.
I want to see the Sonic again, honestly.
I still haven't seen the first one.
Oh, you need to do that.
God, I love that movie. It was just, they're both really nice, wholesome, feel-good family movies. You don't have to be a fan of Sonic to enjoy them, but if you are a fan, you'll really enjoy them.
Yeah,
I'm still laughing over the meltdown that Birds of Prey fans were having at that time. Because it's still funny to me.
We also need to start a campaign because we're still missing one character from the MCU, and that is Mayo White Vision. How can Doctor Strange 2 be called a conclusion to WandaVision when we have no idea what happened to White Vision?
Well, technically, I mean, I know people are referring to him as Vision or whatever, but I mean, isn't he technically just whatever was left over of like the actual programming of Jarvis? Because Vision was the personality and the stone's energy rolling through it. But without that, he's literally just like a robot with like physical data memories. Like he's not Vision really.
But didn't also Wanda within WandaVision have a shard of that stone left over within her that was used in that vision?
Oh, I have no idea. I kind of lost my mind by the end of that show. Maybe.
They missed a real opportunity to do a Good Times homage in WandaVision.
Yeah, the fact is, White Vision would have been also a great prelude to give us West Coast Avengers and have Ant-Man and Henry Pym hook up with White Vision, introduce Wonder Man, and go down a whole new road of never reading a comic and disappointing a whole group of new fans. Bring it on.
That's true. Freeze Peach Gaming says something that I agree with. I'm glad to hear that Chris Gore liked Top Gun 2. It's one of the few movies that I've been looking forward to. So have I. And I trust Chris Gore. I don't know about the rest of you, but if Chris Gore says it's good, it's going to be a good film.
If you like jets, you're gonna probably get a hard on because, like, you know that Tom Cruise loves that stuff and he films everything himself. I don't know. Have they talked much about like the making of it? Because I'm curious if the other actors were hardcore enough to like film their stuff like the way he does. Because I know he flies his own jets, so that would be fun just to watch in of itself.
Awesome. Apologies.
Oh, Bad Bunny, you're funny.
You know what? I think there should be a new season of the What If series from Disney Plus. It should be called What If Marvel Knew How to Write? What if Marvel knew how to read a comic book? What
it would be the shortest series.
Yeah. Elon Musk needs to buy YouTube.
Yeah, a lot of people love jets. Look, practical effects is where it's at. Top Gun's all practical. The original film was all practical. That's the stuff.
Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah. You want practical stuff, right? These special effects are an additive ingredient. They are not a survival ingredient.
They're the cherry on top.
Trust me, the first time you ever feel, I think an A-10 Hercules fly over your barracks or a CF-18 Hornet trainer fly over your barracks or the Seahawk Yellow Rescue double prop helicopter fly over your barracks at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, special effects mean nothing when you hear and see that stuff.
No, that's 100% true. But unfortunately, we are going to move on. We've got a lot of people that are hyped for Top Gun. I'm glad we were able to talk that into the discussion as well. But let's talk about where Disney hits and misses. How does that sound? Does that sound like
Don't you mean mostly? Don't you mean mostly meant? Well, yeah, people are bragging. No, yeah, I saw people bragging about this in the anti-TFM Twitters and such over the week as well. So
the magical world of failure.
I'm not TFM. So
no, all right. Look, Nina says hi to Wes. It's good to see you, Nina. Haven't seen you in a minute, sweetheart. Good to see you. I was gonna do a late night culture stream tonight. I'm gonna push it to Wednesday because my voice is on its way out. So, and I don't think I can stay up late tonight. But we'll get back into that on Wednesday, folks. We'll do a late night culture Wednesday night. Calvariman Che says Tom created a training regimen for all of the actors that were fighter pilots. F-18 Hornet trainers were used for filming. Yep.
Awesome. See, I had a feeling he would do that. He's really hardcore with his realism. That's the one thing I do admire about him. I don't like him, but he's like into what he does.
Indeed. Yeah, for sure.
I jumped on my couch and it broke, so I blame Tom Cruise for that.
Well, just because he went all pogo on Oprah's couch doesn't necessarily mean he's not good at what he does. So
I should really stay away from Tom and Jerry cartoons now.
But there's another way, though, to actually judge Tom Cruise, and we're seeing how the content is coming out of Sundance, because they've been appropriating and getting a lot of good talent lately. Right, and he is one of the partial owners to Sundance, as well as I think Nicole Kidman, or it's Tom Cruise and his talent agent.
Really?
I believe so. Isn't that their production crew? Sundance?
I have no idea.
I'm not certain about that. I don't think so. But
I'm talking about, is it Sundance? Which one? What is the new one that they're?
what's the one
people are leaving Disney for?
I can't speak with any authority on that, Stephen. I'm not making a connection. That's probably because I'm not feeling 100%. But I'm not gonna die. My plan is not to die, Peter Bacon Science. At least not today. Let's just put it that way. Let's see who else is out there. Sundance is Robert Redford. Yeah, that's what I thought. Monkey.
No, not Sundance. Okay, what's the one they're doing? Where Cruise and his there is one, isn't there? And they're actually doing something.
I believe you. I can't speak to it. I have no clue. Yeah, Skydance is actually owned by the guy that is the Oracle guy, Ellison.
Okay. I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna stop drinking my Robitussin. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Nita's right. Tom Cruise is one of the best actors of our time. His dedication to his craft is amazing, but he's insane. Yeah. No doubt about it.
I don't like Nicole Kidman either, although I like things that she's in. And I got to say, one of my all-time favorite movies is frustratingly The Far and Away, even though they're both the main character in it. So if you haven't seen that one yet, it's actually really fun. And it's like about these Irish people who come over to America, and they get to participate in the Oklahoma land rush, which was one of my favorite things to learn about in school back in the day. That's a little nerd in me. Sorry.
They were also in Eyes Wide Shut together. I think that was right when their marriage was disintegrating.
Yeah, I think it disintegrated shortly thereafter. That was one of the weirdest films I think that they could have done. You know, and it did. It exposed people to this idea of secret societies. So, you know,
it's on my red pill playlist.
It is. It should be. Wes is saying, excuse me, Toxic Manflu says Wes does a prawn movie festival on his channel. Well, not anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be an Odyssey only excursion, I think.
Yeah,
maybe BitChute. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Is there a pole dance channel? Asking for a friend, says Philip.
Twitch.
Yeah, you can do that.
Heel versus Babyface.
I mean, we got a naked. I mean, we got naked yoga. So yeah.
Well, let's jump over here, guys. I know we can definitely kill time talking about goofy stuff. Okay, but look, Hulu. Look, let's go here. Disney Plus hit 137.7 million subscribers, beating Wall Street expectations in streaming. Okay. Hulu added 300,000 subscribers to reach 45.6 million. Guys, these are still the shenanigans. These are the second part of the shenanigans that Disney did to increase these numbers artificially. These numbers are not going to get bolstered as much in the next quarter. And there's also the backlash that they have been suffering over the last couple of months. That only kicked into full effect after it would have not been relevant to this quarter. Let's just put it that way. So Disney once again beat Wall Street expectations last quarter in streaming. Notice how they are very careful in saying that, right? How they're saying it. They added 7.9 million Disney Plus subscribers, suggesting that the company may be positioned to take the lead in what has become a cutthroat race to the top in streaming. No. Disney reported revenue of $19.2 billion and income of $3.7 billion, with earnings per share $1.08. Wall Street expectations for revenue were $20.1 billion, so they came $1 billion short. Operating income $3.3 billion. So there you go.
Does that take into account, like, I don't know how often they change how much it costs, because I feel like they changed their subscription in the last year. So, like, would that take into account, like, the people who left versus, say, people left behind who paid slightly more?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, you have to remember, subscribers shouldn't mean anything to investors. What should mean the most to investors, and I have been on this bandwagon for a year and a half, what should mean the most to investors is something called average revenue per user, ARPU. That should be what these people care about. If you're an investor, even if you're an institutional investor, the number of subscribers mean diddly, because if you have, if your average revenue per user is 70 cents, that's not going to, swing with the big dogs. Because believe it or not, HBO Max, Discovery Plus, Warner Brothers Discovery, which I think is the name now, that's the biggest swinging phallic item in the on the planet as far as ARPU goes. They have the most average revenue per user. So just that really should be the thing that they care about. But anyway, so the EPS miss could be due to change in tax regulations, which saw the company's effective tax rate balloon from 8.8% a year ago to 45.8% in the last quarter. Disney also took $1 billion hit related to ending licensing agreements. This is the other thing that they don't do anymore. Ending the license agreements early for content so that it could be used on their own service. Disney didn't break out what the programming was, but It is likely output deal with Netflix, including streaming services for Marvel series, because they don't have any real good content of their own, at least original. Anyway, so they're trying to say, despite the stumble from Netflix last quarter, which is the same quarter that Disney would be compared to, you didn't have the same kind of problem as all they're trying to outline. Okay, but here's the thing. They overall they missed a bunch of metrics. They're trying to like weasel out of it. This is an excuse article written by Hollywood Reporter. Really, at this point in time, it is the theme parks that carried the day. They know for sure that the linear networks are cash generators. And the hesitance to move too fast away from those is really a cash flow situation. Yeah, because you're not making any money streaming. There is a race to profitability for streaming. What do you guys think about the shortfalls for the Disney metrics? And, do you think that the next quarter is going to be more of a telltale than this last?
If they keep standing their ground in their stupidity, it's going to get worse.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll know more going forward, how things shake out.
Breaking news, at least to me: David Tennant and Catherine Tate returned to Doctor Who.
Whoa, wait,
He's an ass. They already hired the guy.
Wait. That doesn't make sense, though, because technically the way their series ended, they can't even be in the same proximity to each other because it will trigger her memories and kill her.
They'll find a workaround for that one.
No, it's all no.
Hang in there, man.
I think we're being trolled.
Is this a troll?
I think we're being trolled. Yeah.
No, but that's Ian. I feel like he wouldn't be trolling us on Doctor Who.
What are they? That doesn't make sense.
Well, they could definitely do 10 because he's still around in an alternate universe with half of Donna's personality.
But they sealed it off. There's no way back to there.
Yeah, but maybe he hasn't met a woman who can help him yet.
Yeah.
No.
But they sealed that off, and that's why it was
Don't you mute me, Culture.
That's why it was a heartbreaking moment.
Because you had.
I'm well aware of what I was doing.
Because Billy Piper's character was in that universe and got to be with that half human, half doctor who would die and age with her in that universe. That it was sealed. She still got something, but it wasn't perfect. So no, and even if they were going to bring her back in the 60th anniversary, how would they pull that off? It would have to be before the Dr. Donna incident, and enough so it would not have them, whether in close proximity, it would kill her.
Do you want to see the story?
Sorry, I'm losing my mind here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, no, because that was a brilliant episode. Sorry.
It's okay, Steve. Hang in there. I know this stuff isn't infuriating.
It's like the timeless child enema. What?
BBC confirms David Tennant and Catherine Tate are returning to Doctor Who. This is just from 2 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
Ian, you're a godsend, brother. Love you.
Dude, that's some quick info.
Yeah, love it. All right, here we go. So David Tennant and Catherine Tate are returning to the Doctor Who franchise, with showrunner Russell T Davies promising something spectacular when they reunite for a special scene celebrating the show's 60th anniversary.
So they're just going to be cameos.
Yeah. The BBC said in a press release, the Doctor and Donna parted ways when the Doctor had to wipe Donna's memory, making her forget him in order to save her life. He left her. He left her family with a warning: if ever she remembers, she will die. But with the two coming face to face once more, the big question is just what brings the Doctor and Donna back together.
Desperation.
Well, I would love to play with them again if it was my sandbox too.
Me too.
It's sad I'm such a weak spot for these two. I'm sorry. I will say it flat out too. I do. But I will say if the writing sucks, I will address the fact that the writing sucks. But this is fun. At least we've got two actors who we know are awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So there's another article that's saying that, it is for the 60th anniversary. So it would have to be before that incident.
Well, I'm gonna read this. It says the pair have reunited to film scenes that are due to air in 2023, but Doctor Who top dogs remain tight-lipped about what's in store for the pair's characters, with Davey saying they're back and it looks impossible. First, we announce a new Doctor, then an old Doctor, along with the wonderful Donna. What on earth is happening? Maybe this is a missing story, or a parallel world, or a dream, or a trick, or a flashback. The only thing I can confirm is that it's going to be spectacular as two of our greatest stars reunite for a battle of a lifetime. Tennant, who appeared as the Doctor between 2005 and 2010, and was succeeded by Matt Smith, also awesome, was voted the most beloved Time Lord ever in a 2020 fan poll from the Radio Times, smashing tough competition from Tom Baker, John Pertwee, and more recent Doctors such as Christopher Eccleston and Jodie Whittaker. And it's
sorry. That was involuntary.
Also played by Jodie Whittaker, who we lovingly call Dr. Karen.
I'd rather have Capaldi's Doctor come in on a tank, play the riffs, and then smack Jodie upside the head. Thank you. Let's have that episode.
Yeah, I don't think Shooty's going to be able to pull it off. He reminds me of Chris Tucker from Fifth Element.
Oh God, get that off the screen. Yeah, and he looks like Chris Tucker mixed with one of the bad guys from Meteor Man.
I don't know any of that.
Blonde hair and all. Yeah. If you ever remembers Meteor Man.
Well,
I do.
Yeah, Meteor Man was very good.
Bill Cosby's in it.
Yeah, he was fondling a can to change the channel.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that hot piece of information.
In a metal can, and he would touch it and then change the channel of the television with telepathy. I'm not kidding.
Maybe that's what we're gonna get. The 10th Doctor comes back with Donna, and they change the channel, and it never happened.
Tennant's going to get the Mr. Fantastic treatment. I hope not. I love this. Thanks for the breaking news. You guys are so
He's going to
great.
get peeled apart like a pull and peel Twizzler? What?
Oh, thank you, Tom. You know exactly what I'm talking about. He's like, hey, there's Mr. Fantastic.
Blair is a new member. Thanks for joining, my friend. Appreciate that very much indeed. Thanks for the breaking news. We have such a great audience. You guys are on.
How bad did Doctor Strange do last night?
I don't know.
I didn't see that part. I just got here.
Oh, it's okay. So it's now down 67% over last weekend.
That's not so bad.
Oh, well, it was 82% Friday over Friday.
Yeah, but that's because $90 million is what it made last Friday. That's why.
Well, yeah. Well, but I mean, come on. I'm sorry, 67% is not chump change.
Yeah, but how much did it end up making?
Oh, dude, it's about to hit the skids completely. I don't think it's going to make.
That's not what I fucking asked, Culture. I said, how much did it make?
500 million.
How much?
Oh, wait. It's 500 million.
Oh, it was at 500 million last week.
Okay, it's going to be 600 million. I don't know. I don't remember.
So did it make another 100? Did it make another 40? What?
Oh, it only made 60 million.
It's not too shabby.
61 million over the weekend.
It's going to end up beating the Batman. You watch.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to be hard. That was total garbage. Yeah, so Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, it's
well, if you saw our video, kids, this is the better movie. There is no Raimi cut, just so you know. I mean, there was another version, but it ain't better.
Yeah.
We're going to have some more on that, by the way.
I'm pretty stoked to see what will happen, but look, 68 to 60, 68%, 67%, depending upon how you want to look at the numbers.
It's not a very good drop off, but that's comparable to most Marvel movies.
Yeah, Blue-Eyed Roof Korea in the base for $5, and this is going to be the last story we get to today because I'm really running out of gas because I'm not 1,000%. Tom's here; he's going to carry the show for the next half.
Blue-Eyed Roof Korea in the base says Twitter inflated. Users Netflix could have had to tell the truth. Facebook is losing money. Seems like big tech collusion. Could Disney be involved too?
Well, think about this. At the time that Disney Plus was coming together, what was Apple putting together, Tom?
Apple Plus.
They were putting Apple TV Plus together. Exactly.
Apple Dingle Donger Max Plus.
Yeah, and Iger was on both boards at the same time. not the best.
True.
Yeah, so it's a conversation that needs to be had. Indeed. But
I wasn't sure if I was coming this morning because I didn't want to catch the coup from Culture
you
here.
can't get it through the
And he's got me really close to him, so I'm not happy. I should be 6 feet away. That's better.
Okay.
You can give it to everybody else but me.
All right. Well, anyway,
I know
that's
you don't wash your
thanks.
hands.
it's a blue-eyed roof Korea in the base. I think you're right. I think Disney has been colluding in a lot of ways, but I'm coughing my head off, guys.
He's got the coup. I knew it.
It's okay. My icon is cool with it.
Culture, I can't do this show anymore unless you put your mask on.
Isn't that Grant Gustin in your icon there?
It is.
It is.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Horseradish Power for £2 sterling. Thank you for the proper money, my friend. Says, go home, BBC. You're drunk. Yeah, indeed.
I think it's on life support at this point, ain't it?
It truly is.
BBC? They sold it, didn't they?
Yeah, it went to Sony, right? They're
Yeah,
the
the Doctor Who stuff. So this
Yeah.
isn't technically BBC.
That's true. Well, they didn't have the money to produce it. It's kind of like how the Sesame Street deal went down with HBO. I don't know if you're aware of how that went too. They didn't have the money to produce this show anymore, so they bring out an outside corporation, big entity to basically back them up. And because of this, I think Sony has exclusive rights in the U.S. to all the streaming and stuff like that for Doctor Who for however long, for the next few years or whatever. But yeah, it was the same thing when HBO basically bought Sesame Street because even though Jim Henson didn't have an issue with the Muppets going to Disney, he was dead set against, and whatever say and sway he had over the Sesame Street gang, he refused to allow any sale to Disney. So Warner got lucky and they bought in on Sesame Street, though they've destroyed it. I mean, it's a pale comparison to what it used to be, but you even got Frank Oz out there speaking out against it. But yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
I mean, this could be a good thing, though, for Doctor Who, because Sony's going to be like, we want money, we want ratings. And that's one, I guarantee you that's why What's-His-Face is coming back, Tenet.
Yeah. BBC did not have to worry about making people happy originally because they could just get that money for free. So now they actually have to kind of give a crap to some extent.
That's true. Yeah, we've got Horseradish Power again saying for £2 sterling. Thanks for that. Doctor Strange in the movie production of Madness.
I'm going to steal that for our next video, Horseradish.
Indeed, another £2 sterling.
I'm going to take a picture of that and send that to Andre.
Do it. Do it, Mountain Dew.
There was no madness in that film.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in that.
Why is it Wanda decided to use 2 demons and then stop and then just went full, excuse my language, B mode the whole way through? You had demons that literally could be holding up.
Bad Wolf.
We could have had the Illuminati fighting her demons while Wanda chased down Doctor Strange.
Boy, man, Bad Wolf was seriously that back in the day. That was like the thing. You know, like I remember that when that happened, it was like, oh, Doctor Who, Bad Wolf. And then when it comes back later, just that other moment of, oh, Doctor Who, Bad Wolf. Man, the feels.
That one scene where she's going and she has the TARDIS inside her. I can see the past, I can see the future. I can see it everywhere. It's so good.
Feels. I need to go back and watch the good stuff again.
There is good
Eccleston
stuff out there.
was a great doctor. I think if he would have stayed on, he probably would have ranked higher than Tennant. You know, he left too soon.
Yeah. Trav 101 for £2 sterling. Thank you, my friend. Sends a super sticker, a little fist bump action. Appreciate that. Love it. But look, we got 2 more stories to get through. I do want to cook through them. We got Nina out there throwing awesome takes, saying, "Yeah, the madness was crazy. Mom madness. Women are crazy. Super sexist shit." Actually,
I got breaking news from G4.
Oh wow! Whip it out.
Well, no, I can't because it has Frost attached to it. But she's talking about Gamergate, hate crimes, and infiltrated groups dealing with just jokes. Bro, shut the hell up.
Well, you know, she knows her stuff because she sees you guys in there in that chat.
Yeah, we're not here to be Googled at. Well, they're not. That's for sure.
Not there to Google them.
That's the culture. We're here for culture's fabulous hair.
Oh well, thank you.
15 hours ago.
This chick is bananas, man. Look, you know what? You run away like she's on fire. You know.
You know what's great about Frosk is that my Donald Trump and my Boris Johnson wig is now also a Frosk wig.
Yeah.
It's true.
Someone's serenading us with like
Multiverse of Madness equals mom. Indeed. I'm doing a whole video. I'm doing a whole video on it tomorrow. My takeaway from this last weekend in the film in general. So that'll be tomorrow's video. My tech video is going to be on Twitter, which we're going to get to next, right after this. I have to share this. I want you guys to.
There was a life lesson for Multiverse of Madness, and remember, this goes to all the women out there. It doesn't matter how many people you kill. All you need to do is forgive yourself. You can get away for scot-free.
There you go.
She literally touched her own chin and said, and everything was okay after she killed all of us.
It's really dumb. I'm just going to put it that way. But real quick, it looks like Netflix is in the process of doing a little housekeeping, house cleaning, house something. Netflix tells their woke workers to quit if they are offended in a culture memo. Now, I know a lot of people have talked about this, but I'm interested in your perspectives. I guess they basically are just being told to shove it, right? So they're putting woke workers to bed in light of the internal dissension triggered by productions like Dave Chappelle's controversial stand-up special. Netflix has reportedly issued a memo to its disgruntled staffers, underscoring that the streaming behemoth values the artistic expression of its content creators over each employee's personal thoughts, beliefs, and lifestyles. And any worker who doesn't like it can flicks off. As employees, we support the principle that Netflix offers a diversity of stories, even if we have some titles counter to our own personal values. Depending upon your role, you may need to work on titles you perceive to be harmful, the communique continued. If you find it hard to support our content breadth, Netflix may not be the best place for you. Wow.
They've released a statement.
Yes. Wow, it's almost like it's any workplace that you ever work at where you have to maintain a level of a degree of professionalism and objectivity, and and be a professional and actually do your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, especially in a job like that, you feel like you really should have solidified that a long time ago, because the issues with like Netflix and other streaming services is you have new stuff coming in all the time, and every time it's gonna upset somebody. Like it's just gonna happen, and you really gotta nip that stuff in the butt, and it's nice that it now covers all of the insulting stuff to the woke crowd, but it also, it'll be saying it's completely fine for all of that other stuff, like what is it, Karen the movie, stuff like that.
Well, yeah, here's where my tinfoil hat gets popped on, and it's going to be like, oh, anybody that objected to, that show with the kids that I'm not going to name the name of, the French one. It's like, oh, we got rid of those people. Like they're going to use that as an excuse to get rid of those people. I hope that's not the case. I hope it is the wokies.
No, I hope it's all of them. Get rid of all those weirdos. Get them all out.
Yeah, it's true. Clean house.
Clean house. Get all of them out of there. Like, no more excuses for this type of mentality, because it's actually in the borderline of mentally disturbed. They need help. They need to calm down their activism and start realizing that a workplace is to get paid for a job you are hired for, not to get paid for how many people you yell at and make uncomfortable in the workplace.
Well, you know what, Tom, did we see this coming out of Netflix?
Oh shit! I thought I was muted that whole time. Sorry about that, guys. Did we see as far as the memo?
Yeah.
Well, I remind people they said the same fucking thing about cuties. Remember?
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. So we can't fault them for this. I'm glad to see they're sticking to their laurels on this. At least they have the audacity to get behind something like that and say we're not going to, pander to a group when it came to cuties, but we have the same. At least they're consistent, right? They're saying the same thing about Dave Chappelle and everything else, and they're like, if you don't like it, get the fuck out and find another job. Because that's the other thing that pisses me off about some of these people that work at Disney and all these other places. They are the epitome of privilege, yet they act like they are owed all this shit. It's like, no, you work for a company in Hollywood, and I don't mean in the actual physical place, but I mean in the actual just like whole idea of the movie industry, right? So quit being a little bitch. Be glad that you made it, because you're 1 in a million. Okay? At this point, I'm surprised that Chapek didn't do that, because that's one thing that's really kind of hurting him right now, is if he would have just said, y'all fucking adios mi amigo if you walk out of work today. You know, because we're not getting behind this. And that has done fucked their entire studio. And that's why every one of these companies, Sony, Netflix, all the other ones in the last week here, have put out this memo about do not say a fucking word about RVW. Yeah. We are not getting involved, because they know that is a fucking death trap.
Exxon saw the writing on the wall. I did it on a 6-minute daily 2 weeks ago. They are not flying any affinity flag ever, anywhere. None.
Sony did the same thing with the president, right? He put an email out saying, Jim Ryan did the same thing, and then he started talking about his cats and stuff, and people got upset about it. I'm like, no. Why are you getting upset? That's the thing, though. We already know that going to work sucks. Most people hate their jobs. So why are you going to make it worse for other people?
Well, that's the thing, is these guys actually have jobs. This to me is the equivalent of when, you know, people who are in sports complain about shit. Yeah. It's like, get over your fucking self. You literally get to do what kids wish they could do when they're in school, dreaming of their dream job later on. And you're sitting there pissing and moaning because you actually get to play ball for a living, or draw cartoons, or make movies. Give me a fucking break.
You get, anything that you would do for free, that you get paid.
That's the ultimate privilege. Exactly. Yeah. The ultimate privilege.
Right. Well, I think gratitude, no matter what you do in life, is a good thing to have, especially when you're in a position like that.
That's what I mean. Exactly.
Real quickly, Rave Girl for $5 says, what other studios will have their own culture memo? This is a huge sea change.
I think a lot of them are.
Seeing your stock drop off 70% will make you rethink your strategy.
Well, not just any company, too. It's Disney.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Disney.
I'm in kind of the camp. I just see this as hollow.
Yeah. Well,
I just see it as hollow. It's just like, okay, when it all settles down, and when it's like their stock goes back up, everything's back on, you don't think that they're going to turn around and pull this shit again?
Well, they can try, but look, as long as there's going to be laws crafted, I'm just going to put it out there. There are going to be laws crafted that are going to start to make it more and more difficult to try to utilize these cultural engines this way. Okay. I think that you start to put, real fiduciary responsibility penalties back in play when it comes to, not being focused on money, which is what TZ Burton's talking about with ESG. ESG is in direct conflict with profitability for corporations. Mm-hmm. So, you're also seeing the incredible expense involved in borrowing money now. Right. It's not going to be as easy or as cheap. And that's not just going to hurt you and I. Obviously, it's going to hurt us really badly. But these corporations are not going to have an infinite bank account with, reasonable interest rates to draw from. And most of these companies, these studios, are getting smashed in the face with declining credit ratings. I mean, Disney is about to get downrated again. You're going to start seeing this, happen in these comps.
And Netflix is kind of like the canary in the coal mine here, and a lot of these guys should be paying attention to what's going on, because this is what Culture and I and several others have been trying to say for a long time, especially when it came to the streaming wars. That there was going to be a point where people will have enough. Now, you had a perfect storm of events happen in the last few years. You had a boom in the streaming industry because of people being stuck at home for almost 2 fucking years.
Yeah.
Okay, and then because of that, you had, I don't know how many different streaming services pop up, and 5 of which are like competing for your big buck, right? You've got Netflix, Amazon, HBO Max, Disney, You know, in the U.S. we have Hulu and a few others that are more kind of commonplace, and then other places they have similar ones. But my point is throughout the entire world, it's kind of a similar situation. Because I like even, you know, people that are outside of the U.S., like in Australia, they talk about, we don't have a lot of the different services, but they bring them all together, but they pay a lot for that one service, right? So whether you're getting raped at, you know, one end, you're getting it at the other when it comes to this stuff. But this was coming. We knew this was coming, and it has, part of this is the woke, part of it is, but a big portion of it is people are back to work. People are shutting down their Netflix. They don't need it. So there's a portion of that. The other side of it is what Culture and I have been warning about, this whole thing with Disney making their shit proprietary, HBO making their shit proprietary, all these other companies making their shit proprietary, is they thought, we're making all this money from Netflix. We should be doing this ourselves. Yeah. And I always use the doohickey analogy. It's like you make a doohickey, you know, and you sell it to a bunch of people, you make a lot of money. But if you turn around and you make the store to sell that doohickey, sure, you're cutting a little cost out of there maybe, or you're making a little bit more on the other side, but you're not thinking about all the overhead you have for every store, every employee, all the insurances, all the other crap that you don't have to deal with because you just ship the doohickey. But now not only do you make the doohickey, you are the one who's responsible for putting that doohickey out there and making sure the people get it. And look at all these services compared to Netflix. Netflix has a basic 10-year jump on these guys, right? Almost 10-year jump at least. And because I remember watching Netflix back in like 2007 when they only had like 200 movies on the streaming service. And at that point, it was just like a freebie that you got with the thing. And they're like, oh, you can watch this instantly now.
They've also announced, or the rumor is that they're actually putting in production the fact that Netflix will be starting a game streaming.
Yes, there's that too. But that's the thing, is the reason why Netflix was profitable for themselves and profitable for the movie studios was Netflix kind of took over the cable and network television part of the income that they used to get. And they saw that as, this is all money, 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 money. But they're not thinking, like I said, of all that overhead stuff. Plus, what made Netflix profitable was everybody had to get Netflix because everything was on Netflix. Now that you have 10 different services, you have where you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people dumping off every few months when they don't have a Stranger Things or Squid Games or a Cobra Kai or something like that, or a Witcher, to keep them watching. And I think that's where in the future Netflix's binge model is going to be their undoing.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to fix it, and that was an interesting battle.
Oh, it's gonna have commercials within the next 5 years. All these streaming services are gonna be like channels
next year. It's gonna be cable over again. There will have been no reason to cord cut, is all I'm gonna say. Because that's the thing. By the way, Disney said officially in the previous story that we covered, in the couple 3 stories ago, that they are not going to eliminate linear services because there's too much money in it. They make profit. And
some do, the networks do, and some of the cable channels do, but like CW doesn't. CW is going to. But Big Daddy also brings up a good point about the doohickeys. They require a lot of smart engineering. That's another point. Once you're making your own doohickeys, you have to make sure the customer's happy with them. Because if you sell those doohickeys off to a company, it's their fucking problem, right? If the movie didn't do well for Netflix, that's not your fucking fault. That's their problem now. They paid for it. It's their problem. Now you're stuck in a situation where this shit has to be good. And that's where we've seen like a lot of this crap from Disney hasn't been all that great. And they're supposed to be the best of the best.
It puts them in that position where they have to make good content to thrive.
Yeah.
Well, doohickeys require a lot of smart engineering. That's true. Let's get. This has been an incredible conversation.
Well, AFK was going to say something. Sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, AFK.
Oh, I was just agreeing with Tom, and it like just down to like what you were saying about like every minute detail that no one thinks about. And one of the biggest things for me, like I'll always stick with Netflix personally because they have just a broad range of things that I could just put on in the background. Like I'm a person who likes to have noise and distractions while I work and write. But these other services, depending on how crappy their UI is, I don't use it. Like I've tried using the Hulu one on my TV and it's so slow and laggy. The Disney one is also laggy for me, and also it's just not intuitive. You have to go searching for everything. Yeah, it's like these are all additional things that I don't think they really put a lot of effort into, and just like making it comfortable for people to come back. Like, even if they have shows I care about, I'll find other ways to watch them elsewhere so I don't have to deal with it.
Well, and that's a great point too, AFK Mark, because that's another thing that's a whole nother level to this, right? Because we're looking at this we're an entertainment group, right? We get in this because we want to see stuff. We have to have FOMO. You know, if we miss out on something, we got to see it right away. We're not like the general public. They don't give a shit. Like AFK Bard's saying, I'm not saying you watch Friends, but that's a specific example I'm looking at here, is because that's why Netflix paid that much money to keep Friends for only a short period of time, because they knew it was worth it to have it, because people like to have stuff like that on in the background that they don't have to necessarily pay attention to, and that's what they love to have. Now, when those things go away, what was that?
I'm guilty of that with Friends.
Well, no,
too.
even I just didn't want to make. I just didn't want to go like, yeah, everybody watch Friends. Everybody watch Friends. You know, like, no, I'm just saying that was a big reason why they spent, what was it, 100 and.
Oh, it was dumb. It was
a huge amount of money just for like 2 or 3 years of just to have Friends.
2 more years.
Yeah, you can say the same for. You can definitely say the same for shows like The Office as well.
If you also look at Prime Video's UI, going back to AFK, it is also very horrible, because it's not, you get the free videos, right, but they also hide and spam their other like Shutter services and everything in between. There. Don't separate the content of what is actually available for you through Prime Video and what is you need to pay extra for. And they try to trap you on, they'll just try it for 30 days and they try to throw it on there. Their UI is one of the worst things I have ever touched.
Yeah, you're not wrong. They tricked me into buying the last season of Beavis and Butthead, which I already owned on Blu-ray, because I thought it was free on Paramount Plus, and it wasn't. Because, you know, I thought Beavis and Butthead is supposed to be free. No, it was not. Ended up paying $20 for a season I already owned on Blu-ray.
Yeah, they're pretty good at that.
Yeah, look, I want to grab some of these chats. We've had some supers and everything come through, and it's all relevant to what we're talking about. Of course, we've got Blue Eyed Roof Curry in the base for $2. Says Netflix issues statement, and the world didn't end.
Yeah,
that's it. But that's one thing about Netflix with that statement, though, because wasn't it? Let's look at the Dave Chappelle attack that happened. Right? They decided not to have that special go live. And then they dropped this statement a week later or a couple of days later. Like, that doesn't that show some type of hypocrisy in general?
Well, was it ever supposed to be live? I thought
it was literally called the Netflix is a joke special. Yeah,
but usually that takes a little editing.
I was gonna say usually they pre-record them and then
they replaced it with Amy Schumer's.
We'll see. We'll see. I have a feeling it's going to show up.
I saw an article. What is it? I'll find it for you.
I believe you. I'm just saying I believe it'll show up. But look, I mean, here's the problem. The hypocrisy is firmly sitting in Disney's lap more so than even Netflix. Because think about the memo that Chapek sent out at the beginning of the year. The 3 pillars of rope that he is basically hanging himself with right now.
You'll have to remind me about that.
Oh boy. Fat Steven found an article. Bam.
This is from May 10th. Dave Chappelle's Hollywood Bowl show will not stream on Netflix.
That's messed up.
And then we get that announcement. That's why, like, whoever, I think it was Wes who said it before too. Like, So, but they're like, these are all look. So we got The Hall, honoring greatest stand-ups. Bill Burr, he's chosen comedians with David Letterman, blah blah blah. Then we get the LGBTQ celebration. Then we have the tribute to Bob Saget, and then there is Amy Schumer, and for some reason people still find Pete Davidson funny. Followed by they got rid of So that thing that happened with the attack, and then they're start talking about the whole trans community stuff about just shut up or you can leave. Then why wouldn't they?
Right smack dab in the middle of it's an LGBTQ celebration.
Yeah,
that's probably why they don't have him in there.
So they don't actually say why they don't have him. They just say that they don't. Like, because I'm thinking maybe there's legality with it.
I haven't had Netflix since the Cuties debacle.
Okay, it says right there that none of them were ever intended to be taped for Netflix.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird, but
especially since it did not make the cut.
But that's where it goes on to say the attack, however, has nothing to do with why the comedy set won't be appearing on the streaming platform. According to a Hollywood Reporter, none of them were supposed to, I guess.
But even then, Dave had his own high HD cameras there filming and doing all the camera angles for himself as well. So he still has a copy of the full thing, even if it's not Netflix's footage. So what's going to happen with that then? Mm-hmm. Would Netflix still get pissed off if they decide to air that under his own name?
It depends on how their contracts work.
Okay.
I mean,
that's why I find it weird. That's why I find.
Well, here's the thing, and again, I mean, I'm not saying that that doesn't smell funny to me too. I get what you're saying, Steven. Mm-hmm. But like Netflix paid Dave a lot of fucking money. They paid him a lot of fucking money. So I mean, I'm sure he's playing ball with whatever. And they even went as far as to pull down his show, but they had no reason to. There was absolutely none. They just did it out of pure,
out of being nice. Yeah, they want to keep their talent
pleasing
happy.
the talent. Yeah. So I mean. And I think they brought it back in, but I think they worked out a deal with him in Comedy Central to where I think Dave's got a cut of it now. But
Blue-Eyed Roof Korean the Base sends us another super. Says, look at TIV, tendency for interpersonal victimhood, personality construct under consideration for the DSM. Holy cow. These people need hospitalization, not catered to. Indeed.
I mean, I just got to... On the Dave Chappelle thing, I will just say he's the kind of person where I feel like if they were doing something dirty to him, he'd be out there saying it.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would say it.
But there is good news in the comedy world, and that is that we're getting more Kids in the Hall in the future, and I can't wait for that.
I heard about that. That's a plus.
Yeah, and they're not doing anything woke. It's going to be the same as when they left off. That's what they're intending their comedy to be.
That'd be awesome.
Well, wasn't half the cast already like homosexual anyway to begin with?
Something like that, but you know,
like I mean, we all knew. It's like,
yeah. We've got a Soul Assassin bringing up a good point. So, are we at the end game for the streaming wars? That's a good question.
No, not yet.
We're getting close though.
Third quarter, maybe.
Go ahead.
But is it wars or is it begging at this point?
Oh, well, I just said third quarter, maybe.
Well, you've also got Apple, right? Like they are a sleeping giant. At any moment, they could change this game. And they're just kind of kicking back and just watching. So I feel like once they get involved, then we've seen the beginning of the end game.
Well, but we're starting to see a shift in the culture. I mean, we were talking about the sea change. Rave Girl brings up another point talking about that specifically after the super chat earlier. That guy from Red Bull didn't hesitate to fire those workers. He also eliminated the diversity department. Sorry. You're fine. Yeah, so that tells you a lot. You're seeing some shifts in corporate culture. There's no doubt about it.
Do you guys think that Zaslav was like literally like the field kicker for all of this to start like going in like this?
No, but he's driven more by profit than anything else, and because John Malone is the primary investor in Discovery, and Tom can speak at this as well. John Malone is somewhat more middle of the road, right leaning.
I think what we had was a perfect storm of events, and I've said this before, but I stand by it. I think between the Florida bill, Will Smith getting slapped, the JDAH trial, and RVW all going on at the same fucking time, kind of happening, and I think that all kind of just pushed the final into happening. Because what the one thing I guess I missed in there was with the Florida thing was when Disney, decided they were going to come out and say something and no other studio did. That was kind of like one of those moments where you could see where everybody else was being smart, and we've had nothing but turmoil behind the scenes ever since then when they've seen their stock just plummet. And Netflix has had a similar situation, but I can't pinpoint that that's all on one thing with Netflix. I think Netflix is just all the things I said together.
Well, it's a culmination. Yeah, it's a culmination of everything. Yeah, and here's the memo, guys. Remember, this is going back to January 10th. This is a strategically leaked public memo, basically, to employees. Bob Chapek's memo to staff. Disney has 3 strategic pillars. A new, with the metaverse and mixed in there as well. Where was the end of this? The final pillar is the relentless focus on our audience and placing consumers as the company's North Star. Disney's evolving theatrical and streaming strategy appears to play a critical role in that area. Most recently, the company revealed that Disney's Pixar Turning Red will go direct to Disney Plus. Right now, their behavior tells us and our industry that the way they want to experience entertainment is changing, and that changing fast thanks to technology and the global crisis. We must evolve with our audience, not work against them. And so we will put them at the center of every decision we make. Remember? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I love Pepperidge Farm.
JPEG is starting to be. I'm just going to rename him the Cuck Pin, like the Kingpin. I'm just going to call him the Cuck Pin because that's what's happening. It just seems to be cucking everything.
Yeah. Let me get back to some of these. Yeah. Let me get back to some of these super chats, guys. I don't want to miss anybody. Obviously, Blue Eyed Ruth Cree in the base for another $2 says some states are divesting state pensions from ESG. Yes. That's true, and it's happening in multiple states, and it's going to continue to accelerate as people try to turn, back the tide of the globalist whack jobs that are out there in the world. Any thoughts? I know Wes probably has a couple.
I'm in California, or not?
No, it's true.
So am I.
Sorry.
We'll have a funeral later on.
Turo says the world's burning down. Meanwhile, my Sunday is going great. I made French toast and bacon.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Hey, I don't smell fire, and I'm in California. Oh wait, no, wrong.
Oh wow. TZ Burton for
too soon.
That's not good though.
TZ Burton for $2 says Netflix killed the golden goose. Indeed, I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucks that so many people tried to do their own streaming services because it's like the one thing that was convenient about cable TV, everybody hates the commercials or whatever, but was the ability to find what you wanted just by flipping a channel and not having to pay for every single station in order to see what they had. And I feel like I don't know, I'm not in the business, so I don't know. My idea might be super stupid, but like to me, wouldn't it makes sense to me that you have a hub that allows you to find things. Like I have a Roku TV, and it allows me to search for any television show I want, and it tells me what streaming service it's on and allows me to click on it, and it takes me straight to it, which is really nice. But I mean, like for those services, I feel like it would be beneficial for them if they allowed you to click on it and be able to immediately watch what that is through it. You know what I mean? Like, is that insane to ask for?
Not at all. But we have somebody that's got to leave us, unfortunately. Our good buddy Wes from Whatever Cast, his new channel, the one that so far his new employer has not been.
I love how his living room is stuck in 1983.
I love it.
I thought it was 1979.
Could be 1979.
There you go. What's up?
My grandma actually used to have that couch and that coffee table.
I think everybody's grandma had that couch.
And that coffee table.
And that coffee table.
Getting nostalgic here. Well, it's always a pleasure to be here on the Sunday Culture Review. Thank you for having me, Culture.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, I usually have the TV going, and Barney Miller, but so it's always a pleasure to be here on the Sunday Culture Review. I do have a new channel involuntarily. Well, I'm on a new channel rather, working for Whatever Corp. And so I'd love it if you give me a sub, give me a like. It's going to be slightly different than the old channel, a little bit more videos, less live streams. So sub or don't, whatever. See you then.
Do it. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate you, man. Guys, check out Wes's new channel. He deserves your sub. He's been trying to get monetized.
I love how he actually dressed.
Yeah,
like the background. That is awesome, dude. I feel like you're straight out of Branson, Missouri right now.
Yeah. Usually I'm even more so 70s, but my weave was causing me to itch.
I like it.
I'm allergic to weave.
I'm actually genuinely jealous.
Wow. Thanks, Wes. I appreciate you, man. Guys, check out Wes' channel.
I got purple Hulk shirts on. That's about it.
Wow. All right then.
Well, I got my Wally shirt. Did you see my Wally shirt?
Wally. I love that guy.
Like
Short
father,
circuit. Like son.
Johnny Five and Wally.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Five. No disassemble, Stephanie. Reassemble.
Los Locos kick your brain.
Squash.
Oh, I remember Los Locos kick your. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Number Johnny 5. You are watching your mouth. You should wash your mouth out with soap.
I need more input.
Sorry. I am in the city.
Uh-oh.
Input.
Nice software.
God, God, what a great movie. All right, guys, we have one more thing to cover super quick before we all have to bounce out of here. You know what? Let's just talk about it. It's an interesting thing. Steven started with it. Elon Musk has hit the pause button on Twitter deal after aggressive pursuit. Let me tell you this. This video for me is coming out on Tech Tuesday this week. I have so much stuff that talks about this and the issues he hit the pause button for. We will dive into this super fast, right? May 13, Elon Musk on Friday put his $44 billion Twitter offer on temporary hold, sending the shares of the social media company into a tailspin. Twitter stock has been consistently traded below Musk's offer price of $54.20 since the announcement of the deal on April 14, wiping off over $2 billion of the company's market capitalization. This is kind of the timeline here. Now, there's a lot of speculation as to why he would do that. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think it's because of the bots? Do you think that's a real thing?
I think he's just trolling. He loves to troll people.
Yeah, that's some people were claiming that this to be like, oh, he's failing and stuff. It's like, no, you're just celebrating it.
I don't know. I said
this is all part of his plan.
I said the other morning. I said the other morning on, I don't know about it being part of his plan, but I said it the other morning on Friday, like, and there was already some headlines by this weekend saying the same thing, that basically Elon Musk might turn around and expose Twitter and destroy them in the process without spending a fucking dime. Because you guys remember, he hasn't really done anything yet. He doesn't take control until October. So I think this is hilarious. Because if it comes down to it and he just basically proves that there really isn't nearly as many people on there as they act like there is, which we've all known this for however long, where this is not news to us. And just as we try to keep pointing out to people, Twitter is such a small little corner of the fucking internet compared to the rest of the world. Most of the world doesn't know what Twitter is or gives a shit. But for some reason, Hollywood and corporate America follow it like it's like they did those stupid people back in the day when they would do all those fucking they'd pay all those companies that would do all that research for them. And it was usually just a bunch of bullshit to tell them exactly what they wanted to hear.
Like a focus group?
Yes, basically? A focus group. Thank you. That kind of shit. Yeah.
Well, they would hire KPMG or some other like consultancy.
Exactly.
Group.
A consultancy and all that shit. And they're like, again, they just tell you exactly what you want to hear. Just like that one dude, Eichen, when he was talking about where that company, they like literally come to him like, look, we can tell you a bunch of shit, but to be honest, we have no idea what the fuck they do. He's like, yeah, that's what I kind of figured. So he ended up firing that whole building of people because he had no clue what the fuck they did for the company. Like, that's basically what Twitter is. It's just a big fucking fugazi.
Yeah. If he wanted to, he could probably revamp Twitter and actually make it more than what it is. Not just social media, but literally make it like a new like content creation platform if he wanted to. I think it needs to get shaken out, and I think at the same time he's also kind of trolling people like the investors like Saudi Arabia and stuff too. I think the ones that were kind of being snide are the ones that he's came back at. I mean, he doesn't have to lift a finger like Tom said. He hasn't lifted a finger. He's just commenting.
He's making the monkeys dance is what he's doing.
He is. And you know, Siege Perilous is right. Advertising botnets pretending to represent larger demographics is one of the
that's things. A problem. That'll be, you're looking at like investigations if that gets uncovered.
Look, I'm going to outright say it, and I will on Tuesday's video. There's evidence of fraud all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I've known ever since the actual sale to Elon, I've noticed that my Twitter feed has like 20 times more ads popping up in between tweets and accounts I follow. You know what I mean? Like, and I usually don't see it, and now it's everywhere.
Bye, Canadian Spider-Man. Thanks for being here.
It's I don't know. I hope it fails. Twitter needs to die.
Yeah.
Bring back
I wish I had developed a social service app. That would be amazing. But you know what? There's too much server-side stuff involved in that. Just too much of that. Speaking of dancing monkeys, hi, Rob. Wow. Talking to Rob Altus. Look, we got a couple more things to get
He's
through.
He's an ape, not a monkey.
That's true. That's true.
At least it's not a bored ape.
That is a huge insult to the Planet of the Apes. You do not call an ape a monkey. They get very upset.
That's true. Horseradish Power for £2 sterling. Thanks again, my friend. Says Netflix was a massive content library, not a studio. Indeed, they're a terrible studio. Trav 101 for £2 sterling. Thanks again, my friend. Have you seen the What is a Woman trailer? No, I've heard horror about it. Has anybody seen it?
No, I was too busy watching bum fights.
No, I have not heard of this.
I know about the They Them trailer.
I'm not a biologist though, so
I'm not a biologist.
I don't know if I can watch this.
I'm going to be checking it out. I think it's kind of an argument on the side of the equation of, you shouldn't have to be a biologist, but I could be wrong.
Is it?
I could be wrong. Sorry, guys, I'm dying here. TZ Burton for $2. Thank you, my friend. Says the deep state doesn't like their toys messed with. No, they don't. No, they do not. That's why they are investigating Elon in his purchase of Twitter. Because, oh no, Bezos can own a newspaper, a streaming service, whatever the fuck he wants. I just cursed on my own channel, kids. And
what he wants.
I said the F word.
We're bad influences.
I'm rubbing off on him.
Anyway.
What the fuck?
Wait, hold on a second. Tom, didn't you weren't you the one who said culture was a bad influence on you?
Shh, that's called reverse psychology.
Okay.
Make him think that he's the one doing wrong. He starts emulating me.
Gotcha.
It's the Amber Heard defense.
Oh, yeah, okay. See, that works every time.
As long as you stop before you get to the pooping in a bed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's my grand finale.
You guys need to see this trailer because at one point there's this old man sitting with Star Wars collectibles all around. He goes, "How do you know you're a man?" Well, I was born with a dick. It's the best thing ever. Daily Wire.
All right, you guys ready for this trailer? I got
Let's
it.
do it.
Okay, this is the Daily Wire official trailer. Again, I didn't think this was going to be bad. So, but I'm gonna do it this way. There we go. Oh no, I'm not. Wait, I'm gonna stupid weirdness. Hide comment. There we go. All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Okay.
What is a woman? Can you tell me that? Oh, you're at the women's march. You must have some idea. Please, if one person can tell me what a woman is.
You are not here for women. We ask you to leave.
What is that?
I'm a husband. I'm a father for. I host a talk show. I give speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things. A woman is not anything in particular.
There is not one particular thing.
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
I like scented candles. I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm a woman?
That's a great question.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major.
No.
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
That's good.
Can a man become a woman?
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is?
You want to tell us what a woman is? It scares me that I know that. It scares me that I may know what that street is.
Oh, you know what a cat is?
I can't understand anything because all I hear is blah 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 blah.
Oh, is that me?
Somebody's echoing. All I know.
Yeah, it's an echo big time. Yeah, I was hearing
Culture, are you hearing the echo?
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely me. Should I rewind it? I should.
I didn't understand a single fucking word. I'll be honest with you.
Do you want me to share it instead? Does that help?
What is a woman?
Here we go.
Can you tell me that?
Oh, you're at the women's march. You must have some idea. Please, if one person can tell me what a woman is.
You are not here for women. We ask you to leave.
What is that?
I'm a husband. I'm a father for. I host a talk show. I give speeches. I write books. I like to make sense of things. A woman is not anything in particular.
There is not one particular thing.
It could be many things to many people.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
I like scented candles. I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah.
How do I know if I'm a woman?
That's a great question.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major.
No.
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
That's my fucking uncle right there. I shit you not. He looks just like him.
A woman?
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer
Wait,
that.
can you skip back 1 second?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Are you a cat?
No.
Where was the guy in the shop?
It looked like a comic shop or something.
I think we've heard about him before.
Yeah, it looked like.
Is that the Star Wars one out here?
Yeah, I think that's the guy, the old man. I think who
you're right.
chased out
Dude.
the member of the
Yes, I think you're right.
I
Yes,
go
it's
there.
him.
I go
not
there
scientist,
once a
not a
year
gender
when I go to the ocean,
No.
and can I
You
just
know.
say that guy is so nice?
That's the guy. You're right. AFK.
Okay, I thought I recognized him.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess because I got a dick.
Okay, I love him.
Because I remember that because I did. I said then he
Can a
looked
man
just like my uncle.
Become a woman?
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is? You want to tell us what a woman is?
I'm a biological woman that medically transitioned to appear like a male. I will never be a man.
And so they go on the internet and they're told that all of their problems will be solved if they become a man.
So you worry that there could be a sort of social contagion element of this?
A teeny tiny bit, maybe. It got me
Teeny
at
tiny.
32. Your child doesn't have a chance.
And you're affirming it with hormones that have never been used in this way.
Puberty blockers, which are completely reversible.
Completely reversible.
One of the drugs used is Lupron, right? Which has actually been used to chemically castrate sex offenders.
You know what? I'm not sure that we should continue with this interview.
You don't want to talk about the drugs that you give to kids, or
How can they be removing the healthy
What
breasts of
the-
15-year-old girls?
There are masculine girls. There are feminine boys. What are we going to do about that? Carve them up?
How can this whole thing be happening, Matt?
I wanted us to have a safe place to be able to talk about this.
Part of me wants to ask why you care so much.
I care about the truth. I care about children. I care about the women who are having their opportunities stolen from them.
Is it transphobic to tell the truth?
The interview's over. Just turn off the cameras.
Excuse me,
They're fair. I just wanted to know, what is a woman?
and you're not going to find out.
Based on what I'm saying, would you ever want to move to America?
They say no, never.
On my birthday.
We'll see when it comes out.
This is
What
definitely.
That's what she said.
It's like a trans hot topic ad.
This is definitely gonna rustle up some feathers.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
but You're not gonna get in trouble. Just go back through and edit. You're still under the 2-hour mark. You can blur out that one part of the trailer with the editor tool.
I mean, it
Just
didn't show anything, but still.
You won't be in
Culture,
trouble.
just
Don't-
ask-
you
Did
shouldn't
show
be in
some
trouble.
pubes.
Culture, just ask YouTube what's a kitty, and then they'll just walk away.
Oh, dude, we need to start that new hashtag. What is a cat?
What is a cat? He's just like, what's a cat is?
I don't know, but all cats are assholes. That's for sure.
I don't think it'll land me a strike. It might get me a. I mean, this is on YouTube. This came off of YouTube. They are not being struck for this. You know, I can't imagine that would happen. You know,
You
but-
did say dick a lot.
man, that's some weird stuff, dude.
It is weird.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
it's perfect. It's making you think. It has comedy elements,
Yeah.
and
It
it's
is.
not
What is it?
attacking anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
But
here's
here's
the whole
the most.
problem with Twitter: is the fact that we have these conversations. I use air quotes for this, or discussions, air quotes again, with these types of people who are not there to listen and debate. They're there to name call, and as soon as you provide enough logic where it defeats their argument coming back, they block you. And we're seeing that as a physical representation by the way they're walking out saying this interview is over. So it's pretty much giving the same type of imagery.
Yeah, what is a cat is a great question. I think everybody should be asking that. But TZ Burton says for $2, this video is why we don't have space travel yet.
That's true.
That's not true.
Yeah, because we have a bunch of weird stuff.
We got a bunch of narcissistic people.
A bunch of weird
who
stuff.
have been exactly like this
And-
trailer
and-
implied, have been enabled and empowered by
well-
the internet.
And gender dysphoria absolutely 100% exists. There's no arguments to be made.
And
against
they're
it or
enabling
anything else. Well, no, there's a different thing at work here, and that's kind of what this is going to go out there. In the
Well,
world.
I'm sorry. Until you're an adult, like that's not something you should even be discussing
Yeah.
to change a sex of somebody or anything like that.
Well, just think of it this way: we don't let kids drink. We don't let
Exactly.
kids tattoo themselves. We don't let them vote. We don't let them drive because they're young, they're underdeveloped minds, and they can't make wise decisions for themselves. There's reasons why we do that. And I think that at the end of the day, you can have gender dysphoria and you can, want to fix, quote unquote, fix or do whatever you need to do to feel happier, comfortable in your own body. But there's no way you will be able to make that decision at that young age without being completely influenced by things around you.
Exactly.
Like, even adults struggle with coming out and coming to grips with this. Like people in their 40s and 50s. And, they're, completely grown up. They have all this information at their hands and they have the mindset to be able to make their own decisions for them. Kids won't be able to think that out,
That's exactly
I don't want to discredit anybody who's actually going through that, but there will be many, many, many children who end up being more confused and more distraught because of this situation.
That's exactly
and
my
I
point.
I come from the point, that I've come out previously and, I am like that. Like that person in the interview where they're like, there is a difference. If you are transgender, you are transgender. Like the whole phrase passing was a thing for the biggest time because you don't want to go out if you're transgender, or suppose nowadays you have to wave the flag around to be proud that you are transgender, where, this isn't, it's kind of like, oh God, this is my personal point of view. Okay. Like everybody is different. Everybody could feel differently, but I'm just like, this isn't something that would be proud to say that I am, or, I don't think other people, necessarily all want to go out and cheer about it. And it's just like, it's an issue and it's being treated as like, oh, you should be proud of it. You should be happy. In fact, brace this and brace that. And it's just like, I don't know. It's
that's
such
an
a
interesting
huge
point.
swampy mess.
Do you think, I have a question for you. Do you think it would be a lot easier in society for people who are dealing with this, especially from the point of view, where if it was more about being comfortable and not so much being proud?
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, I think the big thing with pride is that people are uncomfortable.
That's what I was thinking too.
You stand on the street corner and you're like, no, I am a female or I am a male regardless, because that makes me feel secure. And it's like, that shouldn't be your
See, and that I
defense.
understand. I understand from a straight man's point of view, and I could see, like, I have no problem. I have plenty of friends that are not straight. I have plenty of friends who are not, what have you, trans, whatever. And just as a person on the street, if I saw somebody just standing there that I could tell maybe possibly was trans, I'm not going to question that. I'm just going to walk up and talk to them if I have a question for somebody, whatever. But if there's somebody there who's like waving a flag and acting like some of the maniacs in this video, of course I'm going to avoid them like the plague.
Well, at least we didn't have, the butt plug monkey weirdness that they took to school that one
Look,
time.
I even dated a woman whose dad was trans. Right. And it was not a big thing. Like this was 10, 15 years ago. Right. Like
it also opens a can that a lot of people have open on other things too, where it's like you have to have a very specific dialogue. You have to have a very specific point of view, or else, you're secretly self-hating or this, that, and the other. And I think the biggest conversation is one that comes down to this pride thing and feeling comfortable, is that the trans community at large does not feel comfortable talking about people who question their gender identity, but regret it later. That is literally a thing that happens with human beings. And it's completely okay for someone to realize that they've made a mistake on how they want to identify. There are people who stop taking testosterone or estrogen because they realize that wasn't actually what they need. But it's impossible to bring that conversation up with anybody who's super left progressive, because that's attacking the fact of their identity. And it's so dangerous to be able to have one side of that conversation comfortably with kids, but to be told that you can't have the opposite side of that conversation.
The other thing that's very sick with all of this, and it came from that trailer, which I did not know, is that Lupron is actually used for chemical castration for
wow
sex offenders. That in itself, it should be an eye opener to some people that they're using chemicals like this.
Well, and I'm so glad that AFK Bard's bringing up a lot of these points, because I agree with this. Like, I have no problem having a conversation like this with somebody who happens to be trans, or with somebody who has an issue with something that they feel might be racist, that it happens to be whatever said race. I believe, and I want to listen to what they have to say, and I've had conversations with a lot of people, and I do try to understand where things are coming from, and to me, that's where I can understand this better, and that's where I feel like there's a fallacy. We've had people like build up this idea that, you know, they're treating the idea that you can change who you are like a haircut. Yeah. Right. And it's getting to that point where it's like, no, you are severely changing things in your body when you're putting chemicals in there, when you're doing some kind of physical manipulation. And I think somebody needs to be able to feel comfortable with that. And I think that's the first thing that nobody's really asking anybody. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to be prideful if you're gay or if you're trans or whatever. Okay, that's one thing. Sure, I'm happy to be alive too. But what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I think it's more important that somebody feels comfortable. And I would rather give a shit more about somebody being in my personal presence, feeling comfortable around me. If they feel comfortable in a dress and they're a guy, I don't give a shit. Right? Exactly. That does not bother me. But somebody going out there and telling me how I should think, how I should act, how this person should dress, how that person should dress, and going back to the whole kid thing. And that was the first time I ever got attacked by the trans community, is when I come out there and I said, this giving hormones to kids is bullshit. That's child abuse. I said, because a kid don't know what the fuck they want. I said, when I was 8, one minute I wanted to be a fucking T-Rex, the next I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle, and the next I wanted to be a fucking God knows whatever it was the next day, because that's exactly what AFK Bar was saying. Kids don't have that capacity yet to make those kind of decisions. And I agree with this outside influence. And I think that's what this documentary is importantly putting out there, is that the media, the internet is pushing this. And I think that, going back to, like I just said, it's treating this idea that, oh yeah, you can transition no different than a haircut, but they're not talking about the consequences if things change.
Of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where
and let's be honest. Sorry, we need to wind down. So I've got a couple supers and stuff to get through.
Sorry, I was so late today, but yeah.
No, man, I love you guys. This has been great. We went an hour longer than I anticipated. You guys are amazing.
Max Relax, they're not an option.
Can I at least say my piece? Or
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
No, it's just pretty much everything you guys are saying. And from my personal perspective is, pride, everything is fine. That's fine with that. And I'm so happy you have AFK here to kind of really, really bring this all home. Where my issue lies in is that, like what Tom said, if you have pride in it and if you want to do what you do, and that's fine. We're all live and let live. The problem where stems from is that if you're bullying, and I'm saying this, and I'm saying this blatantly.
That's a good term.
Bullying, blatant bullying other people to conform, to have to cater to your demands, cater to your sensibilities, because you emotionally cannot be, and I'm sorry, I'm saying this, emotionally are not able to take that kind of criticism or to take that kind of different mindset.
Yeah.
That's where I have the problem with.
Amen.
Right in there.
You can't force people to think like that. You can't force people to cater like that, because in reality, a lot of people you try to, and deep down they think they don't want to deal with you.
Yeah,
they're doing it just so they don't want to deal with you. They don't have to deal with this crap or anything like that.
Yeah, and
Dr. Dragon, or whatever, but that's where I have the problem, is the bullying.
Right. Dr. Dragon says something that's accurate. The problem with this generation is the moment they see something of a different opinion, they don't want to have a conversation. They make it hostile and aggressive. And I think that's 100% accurate. Mm-hmm. But look, there is no diversity of thought. That's 100% true, Cody Guy. I mean, we're constantly struggling with this now, whether it's the G Mafia or not. I just, pride's something that you feel for what you've done or what you've become rather than what you are. I agree with that. Look, here's the thing. I've never thought my sexuality was a personality.
That's another thing.
Your beard is a sexuality, isn't it?
Man, well, I think it's got its own sexuality. But let's
really
wrap
wide.
up. We got a couple chats to finish with, and then I need to.
Your
give
beard
everybody
is
their-
pure sexuality. What are you talking about?
There you go. Blue-eyed Ruth Korean the base for $2 as the Star Wars guy in the comic store. The trans tried to cancel. I do remember that. You're 100% right. They did try to cancel that toy store guy.
Dude,
And
that guy is so cool. He's got Princess Leia's face tattooed on his arm and her autograph tattooed onto his arm too, because he
That's
got to meet her one time.
That's so rad. And of course, our good friend Blue-eyed Ruth Korean the base closes it out with another $2 super chat saying Sophia Narwitz would be an awesome cultural guest. I would love
Sophia
to have
would be an excellent
Sophia
guest.
She's great. She has her own gaming chat. You can probably catch her at Twitch stream and have
I'll see if I can. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, Max Relax. I might have part of my being, defined by my hair, but again, my hair is not a personality, although it has its own personality. Indeed. Toxic Man Flu wrapping it up with a $5 super chat says the problem is we are not brave enough to talk to each other about hair weaves. Really?
That is
I recommend you subscribe to Sophia Narwitz's channel because she has a great documentary on this. And she's been through this shit
she still is every day.
And she still is every single day. She's still having to deal with this.
Yeah. I want to say to everybody, you guys are for those of you in the chat that have hung here the whole time, the audience has grown throughout. Thank you very much. Over 100 of you for a long time now. We've got horseradish power for another £2 sterling. Thank you, my friend, saying diversity unravels the tapestry of humanity. Well, the way it's being done now, yes, humanity is diverse in and of itself. You don't need additional elements to break it out, to be honest with you. That's
The one thing that made US back in the day super cool was the tag of us being a melting pot. The whole idea was you come over to America and you start your own thing, and it's a melting pot. And the East Coast kind of became that, where like it has a lot of influences from all the immigrants and stuff. And it used to be really cool, but now there's this push to, no, you can't use that from that culture, or you can't do that because that. And it's like they're trying to spread it out, like the stuff that's been mixed for so long, and it's just so painful. Sorry, tangent. Love y'all.
No, you guys are all amazing. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you. Peter Vankman's fan site says, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a boy because they had all the cool stuff. But as I grew, I found that it wasn't like that, and learned to be myself. Indeed. Some of my best friends were tomboys, and that was cool. They felt more comfortable playing with the boys stuff and doing the boys things. And you know what? A good example of probably one of the coolest tomboys out there right now is Melanie Mack. Yeah. Melanie Mack is awesome. So, hey, Stunt Brad, good to see you. I probably am not going to be doing. I'm definitely not doing the Sunday late night culture stream. Unfortunately, I'm going to push it to Wednesday, and I'm definitely not probably going to make it on Loretta's stream tonight because this was the 2-hour mark, and I am like toast. So, but for all of you that were here, I do appreciate it. I'm going to give everybody their moment in the sun. We'll start off with Fat Steven Seagal.
Hi. I also probably will not be showing up in a lot of shows tonight because I have a chest infection as well.
Oh no, Steven, I'm so sorry, brother.
Yeah, don't worry, man. It's all good. I have channel on Twitch, channel on YouTube, and it's thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming, my friend. And I've got to figure out a reason why. I can't figure out why you're not in that chat anymore. But thanks for coming, man. I appreciate you very much.
Invite if you want, but cool. Thank you.
Yeah, and of course we've got our great friend Tom from Midnight's Edge After Dark, Mead Radio, Midnight's Edge Espanol, Midnight's Edge Archive, Midnight's Edge Piracy and Flatulence, and Netflix.
Don't forget Netflix. Netflix is very good. We've got lots of great movies over at Netflix. We've got about 3 or 4 now, but still, we're doing okay. But today on the show, Tom and the Script Doctor are talking about the classic film on the rated A movie and B movie. It is going to be Poseidon Adventures.
Awesome.
Yes. Where the ship flips us down and it's got Gene Hackman and the lady and she's swimming and they're dying. All the people are dying. It's sad. It's like Titanic before Titanic, without that kid, and a lot less boobies.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It depends on if you think that Gene Hackman's a good trade-off or not. I guess.
Is there Gilded involved in that?
Fuck you, Gilded. We're not allowed to use Gilded over here in Russia, so I have to use our old pigeon. I send a note to my brother.
Netflix and the Muppets.
I'm very upset because he says he's not coming for the holidays, and I'm very upset.
Oh boy, that sucks. Of course, we also had the great, wonderful, and powerful AFK Bard hanging out with us today.
Thank you for letting me take over your show. I'm sorry that I
awesome.
bogarted.
It was perfect. You did great. I wasn't going to stop you.
Y'all rock. It was super awesome to chat with everybody. Tom, it's always cool when you can join. And everybody in chat has been ridiculously awesome hanging out. So many people. Culture's awesome, and he's got a lot of stuff this week, so make sure you keep tuning in.
Thank you for that promotion. Appreciate you, AFK Bard. And last but not least, the man of just immense talent. And, then he really appreciates how to draw the human form. Machiny of Machiny Draws.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Of course, I got plenty of stuff here. Yeah, I know. I kind of cheaped my way halfway through this because I'm still getting used to the fountain pen because this is actually my first time trying it. So I'm going to need more time to get used to it. But in the meantime, tomorrow is, of course, Maki Sketch Diary. It's going to be on this one right here. We will be, I haven't figured out what the topic is going to be, but stay tuned for that, 4 p.m. Pacific. Tuesday, I'm probably going to be doing a new video, a new sketch video with some of my pencil work. Apparently, thanks to Fats over here, I've been getting back into the pencil stuff recently, so expect
no more hatching.
No more hatching, exactly. That's something I was going to call it. No more hatching. Hatch free. Thursday is my morning show, the Machiny Cafe. It's from 7:30 to 9 a.m. Pacific. Check that out. Hang out with your morning. Get your Thursday morning started. And then, of course, Friday is the morning sketches. And those are my daily videos, weekly videos every week. Now, I am now Machiny Live is on hiatus. It is the end of the season. Season 7 will premiere on Sunday, June 5th at 12:30 Pacific. So we're going to head right into the summer, and this is going to be our push. I think this season is going to be the moment we hit 1,000. So
I think you're right, and I think you need to read this super chat.
Which subset?
It's right on the screen.
That's a woman, people. That is a woman.
Yeah, from TV Burton for $2. And our good friend who had all kinds of connection issues today, who was here, got to hang out with. Check out his channel. He does a great pre-stream before the Yelling at Park Cars show on Comics Division's channel. Check out Shellbach TJC. For $5 to CC, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you weave. Oh, you guys you're awful to me. But I will say that I had a great time. You guys are incredible. We've got a lot of you in here. I hope
some of you guys look better weaving than you do coming.
No, hey now. I don't want to know any of those things, but I do want to say this. And this sentiment comes from Six. I don't care about the rest of the world. I only care about you guys.
Aww.
And that's kind of how I feel many, many days. So thanks for putting that in.
Big hug coming on right now.
I appreciate that. With that being said, everybody, thanks for being here. We had a great time today. We were 2 hours, 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes in. Thanks, everybody. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it is good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Hey, I'm not on here. What kind of shit is this? It's CultureCasino Show. It's CultureCasino Show. You don't have to go home, but you gotta fucking go. You can't stay here. We're out of beer. Can't think of anything that rhymes with left.